Hi, so this is something new. I have a little quick confession to make. Ultimately, I've been editing videos, and man, I did not like editing closed captions. I found that like I'd record the video, I do all that, and I just spend so much time like going through all these like texts, and it kind of bored me. So I think I might just stop doing captions. Also, this is a face reveal. A lot of people know who I look like because I've been attending a lot of events. I'm not the best of players, don't get me wrong. That's why I like interviewing people who have off meta picks. But I realized, I love building decks. I love like being able to like play One Piece. I'm a huge fan of the show ever since I was a kid, and I just thought maybe it was time for me to like do a little something different. And I attend a lot of regional events. I like to travel for that, and I think one thing I might actually start doing is selling on Whatnot. It sounds like a very unique thing, but I've actually been a big fan of them for a while. It's going to be less about selling mass quantities of opening packs, at least for now it is, because my budget's not that high at all. I'll be just selling like random bulk items, but what I'm going to do is like I'm going to sell it where like if you buy a bulk card, I'm going to Photoshop your face as Photoshop you into any of the One Piece cards. Essentially, it'll just be like a little fun thing, and yeah, hopefully that'll fund some of these other future trips I want to do. I want to be the best One Piece player, and it's really hard because I need to play more meta picks, and I like experimenting with the off metas. But yeah, so future update. No closed captions, at least for now, just because going through it, I just found myself like I'd be finished with the video and spend like a couple of days just looking at this and text that I have to edit and not doing it. So I apologize in advance. I know YouTube has a caption feature, but that might just be the way for now. And I mean, I could just do the auto caption and just not correct it and just let it be terrible, but I don't know if people will appreciate that either. So we'll just do no closed caption, so we can just dish out more content and make more valuable content for you guys. Keep in mind, I'm gonna start mixing up some like reselling videos, so like a little bit about my adventures selling and then adventures finding stuff. I know we'll see where this channel goes, but I'm definitely all about the One Piece, and thank you so much. Okay, so we're gonna be back with our deck list videos. This is gonna be so nice because I'm not gonna be editing the captions, and hopefully I'll dish these out more fast. I know I was actually editing this video and I found myself like staring at it for a couple of days, just not being able to upload. So this is easier. It makes it faster for me to upload, and eventually I'll have better green screen and all that in the future. But like I mentioned, I'll be promoting my Whatnot stream, which will be under AussieCon on Whatnot. So yeah, let's start with this. Monkey D. Dragon Red Leader, I thought was very interesting with his ability to move Dawn around. I like it because I actually like playing Red Luffy starter deck, the one that has the ability to move his Dawn around and just summon like give you extra Dawn from his rested turn. Now, Monkey D. Dragon does this, but it makes it a lot better because you're able to move two Dawn around, not just Rested Dawn. Now, Monkey D. Luffy lets you use Rested Dawn, but Monkey D. Dragon, it has to be the Dawns that are already attached, which is nice because I actually just swing 7k with my leader and then move it around, which is still a huge pressure game. Edward D. Newgate was so strong because he can just have such high pressure swinging big and like surviving. But I think Monkey D. Dragon is a kind of a unique way to go about it, rushing early, but also being able to move my Dawn accordingly. Now this works really well with a lot of my characters, especially like Kid and Killer, because I'm able to summon, have these units that once the opponent's at 2 life, I can swing for 7k automatically. And then if I swing 7k with my leader and then attach those 2 Dawns to Kid and Killer for 9k, that is so strong. You don't understand. That's like such a detrimental swing. As if Kid and Killer didn't give him much value enough. At 4 Dawns swinging 9k, 7 and then 9k is so dangerous. So yeah, I like this deck because it gives that rush capabilities. We're running the Sanjis for the 2ks. You can use this ability for Nami, but apart from that, mostly just the 2k. Nami Leader when she doesn't swing at your life. Nami Searcher is really good because I'm running, I believe, 30 Straw Hat cards in this deck. I think that really works well with this, and I personally, big fan of it because I'm able to search my Luffy Searchers, my Zoro Rushes, and more. Zoro Rush at 3, it's nice because Zoro is 3 cost 5k swing is so good because, if I'm at 5 Dawn, I have 7k with my leader swing, another 7k with Zoro's. That's 2 7ks in a row. Like, this deck provides so much pressure. I really like it, and I hope you do too. 3 of felt fine, 4 of was just kind of felt really breaking in hand. So I think 3 of's good, especially with my searchers. Now Marco at 4. Marco is always going to be a really strong character. The fact that I can keep him alive on my board, but also against certain decks, they have a lot of 3K power units that you just want to get rid of, like blockers or other things. And then for the following turn, I can swing 8K with my leader, with 7K leader and the 8K Marco, really strong. And the fact that, like, you know, you kind of tempt them to swing at it, and then when they do, you just summon the unit again, super strong. Sometimes they don't even swing at it because they just think you're going to revive it and you don't have events in hand. Really nice. But I personally run fairly a decent amount of events, so I think it works out well. Karasu's, because my leader is a revolutionary army, I'm able to swing for 7K and then attach those 2 on Karasu to -1 cost to my opponent, 1K to my opponent. So good, especially because a lot of people play Sabo. Sometimes I almost tempt them, so instead of putting -1K on their leader, I put it on their Sabo. So now their Sabo being a 5K, if I'm swinging 7 or 8K, they're tempted to, like, if they block it, they have to lose that Sabo. And they can't bring it back with Gecko Moria because Gecko Moria can't summon a 5-cost unit. So I think Karasu is really good. Also for ending game, if I'm on playability and, like, you know, swing big and they're like 1 life, and then suddenly I use the 2 Dawn effect, 7 and they're at 0, use 7 to Karasu's, they're at a 4K leader, a 4K power leader, and then I do all my rushes. Super scary. So Karasu, 2 felt good. You could do 3, but I felt like 2 was good enough, especially with so much removal on the board. The on play is good, but generally I'm swinging 2 units at a time. Now, Nico Robin, I like because of the minus, getting rid of a lot of 1K power units is super good, especially for a deck like mine. I don't want to spend the time like swinging against like a 0-cost blocker or something. So Rebecca's really good. Just being able to defend against a lot of these searchers. So a lot of people play these like small body searchers, like the green decks, and I just don't want to swing at them. And then plus I don't want to give them card advantage. So Nico Robin's really good for getting rid of those and still having so much Dawn left over to pressure them. Shanks 2 of, perfect for green. Perfect for a lot of big decks. You know, a lot of people can't get rid of the 12K power. Like Law's not getting rid of it and all that. But generally you don't play it against Law. You play it against like some slower decks. I like him at 2 just because I have an answer for Zoro and more. Now, Monkey D. Dragon, I had him at 4. I just found myself kind of bricking a little. And because my smaller units do so much damage anyways, I found myself already like pressuring the opponents at 1 or 2 life already. So if I have like 4 dragons in my hand, it's detrimental. So if I leave it at 3, I'm able to, sure, I can lose some from the searchers, from Straw Hat searchers, but generally, you know, this card is super strong, but it's also good because I'm able to move the 2 Dawn around. So on play 8 cost, I get the 2 Dawn to my leader, swing 7K, then use my leader back, use the leader ability to swing the 2 Dawns back to my dragon, swing for 11K. So 7 and 11K is super strong. So yeah, this whole gameplay is centered around big swings and just constantly pressuring the opponent. Now you're wondering, you know, this Brook, just 2K counter, which is fine. Now, even if they play a lot of blockers, by the time they play the blockers, I either swing so above it they had to commit to killing it, or I KO their smaller blockers. But if they like go like crazy and they block like 4 blockers at the end and they have 0 life, I just play my Monkey D. Luffy and just swing over all of that. And I use my leader ability, swing 2K, 2 Dawn on it for 7K, and then attach that for my Luffy for 8K, plus any other Dawns I have left over. It's GG at that point. Because most of the time the opponents are countering and using a lot of the cards out of the hand, especially because I'm swinging 7K, or they're saving it, and by the time like they play their blockers, I just had the ability to like get all those cards out of hand. And like most of the time they're swinging at my characters just because I apply so much pressure with my leader ability that Monkey D. Luffy just finishes games for me. Radical Beam at 3. I felt really good with 3. Any more just feels like it's bricking. I feel super comfortable generally just because I have so much of the pressure. But 3 I felt good. 3 searchers. Now, in 2 years, that's the Sabudi Apregio. That's a very interesting build because I know a lot of people don't play it, but I like the trigger ability, and I really need the Luffy's and like my 2K counters as needed. I really don't want to commit a swing on a 0 cost or 0K power unit. So having the ability to search Robins, the Luffy's, a lot of my gameplay is centered around Straw Hats with the Monkey D. Dragon build, so I think this works fine at 3. Now, the 0 cost, I'll just mention, you could get rid of one of these for another dragon if you wanted to feel a bit more comfortable. Bad Manners Kick Course, really good, 0 cost. Trigger's really nice, just to be able to, like, discard, like, you find yourself sometimes just, like, so many bricks in hand, but having these really make sure that you don't get too pressured, as well as the trigger is really nice for -3K power to one of your opponents. I like it at 4. I had it at 3, but I noticed that I didn't really need that many dragons, so I got one more up to 4. Now, Jet Pistol is really nice because Jet Pistol, I'm able to trigger. I'm able to get rid of some, like, bigger blockers that are dangerous, like, Kid blocker or various other units that I think might be challenging for me. But I think Tula felt good because I have the Nami searchers and because most of the time I'm the aggressor and I can get rid of most of what they're bringing at me, especially with my bigger units. So yeah, this is a kind of a aggressive rush heavy deck that's centered around the fact that you have 2 Dawn abilities. So you're not just rushing 5k, you're rushing 7-7, or you're rushing 7-9, or 7-11. Like, there's so much here that's so strong. And the fact that I'm 5 life with the ability with a lot of these protective, like, defensive events and 2k counters, I think this deck runs really comfortably. And you're catch the opponents off guard so much that sometimes they just don't know what to deal with. Now, I like to walk through some of the matchups that I personally found the meta to be very dangerous. Now, RP Law, of course, they are very dangerous. You just gotta rush at them. You can't even swing at the characters, man. They're gonna outvalue you every time you swing at the characters. Swing at their life like crazy. Force them to commit the Dawn so they can't play those characters, or force them to take, and by the time they're at like 2 life, you're swinging so much value at them, they have to commit their blockers that would swing at you otherwise, or they have to commit to a lot of the characters in hand that they would otherwise be playing against you. You starve them out by swinging at them more aggressively. Your advantage is that you have 5 life and they have 4 life, and the fact that I'm able to improve my Dawn around. This is my gameplay for Law. You could save your Jet Pistols for the Kid blockers or various other things, but the fact that their Mr. 2 gets killed by my Nico Robin is such a good advantage for me. And sure, they can bottom deck a lot of your units, but because you're rushing and because you have so many units that can rush, it kind of like, it's fine if they lose it because they have 4 life. And 4 life leaders, you swing so aggressively that they're kind of forced to make some desperate plays. So that's my game plan for Law. Go first, swing heavy, get them down to 2 or 1 life, and when they try to go for a game, just know that you have your Radical Beams, you have your Zero Cost, you have a lot of things. Most of the times, they don't have much Dawn left to swing at you, or if they're very conservative and they didn't use the minus Dawn effect, that means they didn't bottom deck a lot of your units as much as they'd like to. Those are the things you can take advantage. Swing at face constantly. Let's go to other leaders. So let me just do this here. Now, I wanted to add more gameplay because I know I had some comments about how they want to see more gameplay. I personally feel like gameplay is hard because a lot of times when I try to play online, there's just like a lot of people who just dodge games or that. But I did accumulate a lot of games with Dragon, and I'll attach a screenshot here. Okay, but I'll try to add some more gameplay at the end of this after I go through these characters. Yeah, man, just the fact that I don't have to go through the captions just makes this so much easier to edit. Prona's dangerous because you can rest your characters and swing at them. Just use your rush ability to just swing at them crazily. Just because I can swing 7-9, 7-7s, it's going to be very hard for her to deal with. She can play the Sabo blockers or etc., but you just don't. You can cross to it and swing at their leader. You kind of force them to get rid of it and just swing more aggressively. Just be careful that Prona can do her E-shows, but generally you're just using all your cards from hand. That it's less of a threat, just to make sure that you're prepared for the 8-cost turn. If they play Rebecca's, use your Nico Robin, and any 4-life leader, you're swinging at their face faster than they can swing at yours. I've seen that same thing happen with Yamato, where they would double attack me and I take it and I just swing so much aggressively at her. She couldn't play her Hody Jones. Like, she could, but like it was just not enough for me, just because I had so much pressure and she has to get rid of my wide board. And she's forced to swing at my board rather than my life with her double attack. But even if they swung at you, I think you have a very close call in terms of being more aggressive than her, just because you have so many defensive and offensive characters to kind of balance it out. Bonnie is going to be very scary. Bonnie is going to rest your characters, and you can't do your 7-7. It's just a 7k swing, and then next. This is the tough part. So if you don't have units already on the board, swing with your leader, and then once she plays, like, you want to make sure you don't have to. You do one big swing and then you summon your rush character to swing, rather than summon the character, then swing one and get rested the other. That's one of the advantages you have against Bonnie, is make sure that you can time her Dawn around. If she has 0 Dawn active, you just swing like crazy. You can get rid of some of the annoying blockers like Rogue, or some of the annoying characters like Convendish and more. For their difficult Hawkins blocker, you're just trying to deal above it. Because I can swing so high, you can force them to commit the Dawn to force them to commit to counter or the Dawn to defend. But generally, you want to swing big, taller, and then also it's going to rely upon your Shanks to get rid of their kid blockers or Shanks to get rid of their Zoros, and your Monkey D Dragons to swing big and kind of like make it so that even if they rested your dragon, they can't KO it because it's 9k. So it's just one of the things they have to work around. If they play blockers at the end, play your Luffys to KO it. Alright. Dofi was scary. The thing is, you just swing at face. You swing at face so aggressively. They can swing aggressively at you, but you just gotta outpace them. Surprisingly enough, this deck is so fast that you might actually find yourself outpacing Dofi. Now, he is able to bottom deck your units so you can't swing wide anymore, but by then, like, your whole point is to get them at 1 or 2 life, and sometimes you just gotta see the right cards. If you don't have the right cards and they have units on the board, say they 7 costed your units away and you have like only like defensive spells or etc. in your hand, it's gonna be rough. That's why I run a lot of these searches. I want to make sure I have constant pressure and constantly putting them at low life. Once you get them at 0 life and you have like the other characters on the board, they don't have many counters to use against you, and if they use their counters, they're getting rid of a lot of their 1Ks, and the fact that I swing 7k is going to be very painful for them. Just watch out for their puddings. Very dangerous card, especially once you do your searchers. Just don't keep too much cards in hand. Just play the rushes and get rid of it. Don't worry about it. If he's going to hurt you, you're going to hurt him back. He uses leader ability, that's fine. You sometimes got to get lucky against him, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. Nami, surprisingly, you're very favored in this. Because you're swinging so wide and so tall, you almost feels like you're Whitebeard against pre-OP07 Nami. Like, you just have so much ability to KO. Get rid of their Kayas. You don't want them bouncing that up with Nico Robin. You can get rid of their small cost blockers. Nico Robin's definitely goated in this, just forcing them to not have those blockers or characters that can just, like, snake charm back to their hand or so, but... yeah, just swing aggressive. I found myself super comfortable against them because the only thing they can swing at is my characters, and even then, I can always play my Sanji to summon my units, get more cards in my hand too for my life. So, Nami, less of a threat. Swing like aggressively as you do. Find the right number. Find how much Dawn they have active. Sometimes you wait if they have 8 Dawn active, and you have 2 characters. Sometimes you can wait. You can get a little bigger. I just try to swing high and swing the right number. Alright, Boa, same as Dofi. Boa's less of a threat, but she does able to bounce your characters, which is fine. I mean, my characters get value from Rush, so even if you bounce it, I can just swing it again next turn. Boa, same thing as Dofi, just gotta watch over the puddings, watch for her ability. I'm seeing less Boas now, which is fine, but they are still 5 life, so it's gonna be not as hard as Dofi, but it's still going to be a rough matchup if you don't know what you're doing. Okay, Luffy. Luffy's scary, but the fact is, they need to keep their life because they Dawn ramp based upon that, and because I'm swinging so tall, they have to commit a lot of cards to save their life. I'm swinging 7/7. I think Luffy's less of a threat to me just because I'm able to swing so high that it's not like, oh, okay, they can't hold on to these life as much as they'd like to, but just remember, they got their 10 drop, and they're going to ramp there really fast if you don't do anything about it. Get rid of the ramp cards. If you can get rid of Zoro, if you can get rid of a lot of those other things, it's really nice. Generally, I like playing Karasus against, some of these slower decks. But just know that Luffy can play Magellan, which is kind of scary, but less so because a lot of my characters are smaller cost characters. But Luffy's less of a threat, just swing big. They're going to be forced to take their life and let Dawn ramp a little slower. Okay, Lucci, very dangerous. They can KO your characters, they can do all that, but surprisingly I found myself not as scared about him because he wants to get to his 8 Dawn turn to be able to high roll you. You just swing early so fast. Your early game is super important against Lucci and a lot of black decks because once they get to the late game, they're going to just outvalue you. Now, of course, the main secret sauce against black is Monkey D. Luffy Rush and Unblockable, and that's going to be very good because they can't really do much against that if they have 0 life and you just have so many 7k. And say they use their Dawn counter out of hand. Oh yeah, thanks. Less counter for me to finish the game with Luffy. But yeah, black decks, aggressive early, save Robins for Rebecca blockers, and most of the time, even if they play Salvo, Karasu, or do all these other things against it, it's less of a threat now for me just because I'm so aggressively early on. Same with Moria, but Moria's actually a little bit more, I would say, a little scarier than Lucci. I know Lucci can KO a lot of my units, but the fact that I can summon them so fast and get the value anyways. Even if they KO it, I just gotta watch for Moria because he's able to play so many characters from his hand, and that's the scary part. I think being able to deal with them might be a little challenging, but I just, my whole game plan against Moria and Lucci is swing early, fast, get them down to 2 life, outvalue Dons, and just force them to not being able to use their cards but counter out of your attacks. And by then you just have the advantage of being able to KO. Now you also have your Marcos that cannot be KO'd, and they cannot also be bottom trashed unless by Brook with a combination with the cost reduction, but that's a lot of commitment for a 6k leader characters. So those are one of the things you have to factor in. All right, Enel's tough, man. Enel, like, if you don't do right, they can just outvalue. They can just A-cost your Luffy's, A-cost. I think Enel's one of those leaders that like make it less, like they kill a lot of red decks. And a lot of red decks don't play red because of Enel, but I think Dragon can pull through. Once you play your big cost, once you're able to play your, you know, your characters on the board and time it so you don't like, okay, he has 1 life, I'm not going to swing twice at against him. I need to have a big enough board, like 4 characters on the board, big enough to be able to KO him. So one of the things I do is just set up my, you know, board, get him down to 1 life, have enough in my board to get ready for the big swings. And even if he counters out, just know that a lot of his cards are just big bodies. You know, he doesn't have a lot of counters to be able to deal with the 7k swings, especially if you're running so many of them. And move your Dawn around accordingly. But Enel is definitely doable. Not the easiest for sure, because he has so many ways to KO your units, especially your 4 costs. Keep in mind his Luffy is going to be very dangerous for that, or his Gadatsus when you factor in your life. But if you are able to set up your board, it's definitely doable, especially because I swing big. Alright, so I forgot to add Black Yellow Luffy. Definitely dangerous in this current meta. His ability to get so many free value off his leader ability, and his ability with Gecko Moria to be able to summon his baby units from trash. Very dangerous. Your goal against Monkey D. Luffy is to set up a board, set up such a high value amount that there's nothing much you can do. Keep in mind that he might have 0 life, but you also have your Rush Luffy's. It doesn't mean that you'll kill him, because he'll counter out a lot of his swings, and he has so much characters that are so high value anyways. But you want to time your crosses around to making his Salvos 5k, so that you can also KO them, or you can swing at his leader with some of your bigger units. My suggestion is your Monkey D. Dragon Rush cards are going to be huge, because most of the time he's at 9k, and with your Monkey D. Dragons, you're swinging 7 or 9. 7 with his 11 cost ability when you attach 2 Dawn on him. So your bigger units are going to come clutch against Luffy. Make sure you flood your board with units. And when it's time to swing hard, and you can also end up with your Luffy character, the 5 cost non-blockable. Ultimately, it's doable to set up your board and set up a very strong endgame. Karasu is really nice for finishing up the game as well, getting them a little lower. But your Monkey D. Dragons and your Shanks will probably come clutch for you. Yeah, so those are some of the quick meta pick matchups. I think at the end of the day, your game plan is to swing aggressively early on. Now, let's get into some gameplay to see how that would look like. All right, Dragon 1. I want to show... Okay, Bonnie's actually going to be a really good test because she's a really good leader. And I think I want to keep this just because her searchers. We'll see. I know. But the thing is also, Bonnie's one of those characters that could end up being super dangerous regardless of what I play. So, or regardless of what I do. Okay, cool. So I don't... See, this is what I mean. Like, they're going to want you to swing at their searcher, so I don't, like, waste a swing on their character. But if I have something like this, all I can do is, boom, KO that, and swing 7 at their character, at their leader. And 7k is a big swing. Next, I'll have 5k. They play another searcher. I can KO it. Yep, perfect. Or I can swing with my Nico Robin, which is so good. We'll see. Now, just because I have 3 Dawn doesn't mean I necessarily want to play Zoro. Sometimes I just want to get the 7k swing and kind of force them to have it. But if I do, I'm able to then be able to do a lot of other things. So let's see. So this is nice because they're going to rest this, and I can also do that. I don't like her staying alive, so I can actually... Let's see, 2, 7. 7's fine. So if I swing here, it's going to rest my Robin or something. And I go here for 7k. Big swings. It's so scary. Like, you can counter out of it, but like, thanks for the 2 cards, right? Alright, and she's already at 3 life. She can play Boa, I guess, right now, but I'm actually less scared of Boa. I should have brought up... No, Boa's a blue card, so yeah, never mind. I will say, I forgot to mention, Boa is kind of scary to deal with as a character, but same time, not as bad as you would think. Let's see, 4, they're going to play 3 Searcher. I don't think I mind if they play a Searcher. I think I need my Jet Pistol for now, so let's do this. I want to keep him up and kind of pressure him early. They can rest him, but I don't mind that as much. Because I can also attach Dawn here and swing. Okay, yep, as expected. KO this. So this is where the music happens. They rest the Zoro, and then I swing another 5k with Robin because I use my leader ability. I should probably counter out soon. Yeah, makes sense. Let's see what they got rid of. That's a dangerous card to deal with. Yeah, your little baby swingers are also kind of dangerous too, just because when you're moving the Dawn around, they can get actually a lot of value. I used to do that a lot with, Zoros can do that, a lot of other people can do it, just they don't expect that 5k swing. They already got rid of 2 cards, they're going to get rid of a 3rd card. Sure, they can, but sometimes if they take it, then I'm just in view of killing killer. And there, they just spent a 2k. 8 Dawn, I expect a kid and swing here or here. Let's see. Okay, so they don't have it. They're gonna search for it. Another reason why I don't like record my face often is because I actually get kind of bored. Oh wow! I just realized I've been covering this whole screen this whole time. Ah. Okay, well, practice is everything. Practice makes perfect. Let's see. It's fine. 7k here. I could counter out of that, but also could let it go. 7k. They're gonna rest that anyways. I'll let it go. Zoro, I normally don't protect as much. I just didn't have that many cards in hand, which is why I wanted to protect it. This is fine. I'll keep this one. Okay, out this. And 1, 2, 3, 4. They're gonna rest me anyways, so I might as well get that life out of the way. They rest here, that's fine. Get this out of the way. Now they're in view of my Kid and Killer. I did bottom deck 2 of them, so I'm gonna see less of those, but still they're in kind of a dangerous territory where they don't want to take too much life anymore. Still gonna use a lot of cards in their hand. I imagine they play a Dofi 10 drop or a 8 cost Kid or a 9 cost Zoro. One of the above. My Shanks is nice and ready for them. Matches like these, you expect you'd want to run more 10 drops, but I don't expect too many green leaders to face. There's gonna be a lot of them, but you really only needed this for like that 1 or 2 matchups you face. Basil Hawkins, that's fine. I wouldn't be surprised if they swing here, but they're welcome to swing at me, give me more cards to pick. Yeah, so I kind of expected that for some reason. All right, let's see. I don't think I mind this. Force them to kind of block with that. They can take it, sure, but force them to block. Oh, they took it. Nice. I'm at 5 life and they're at 1. Like, this is the aggression that I offer. They've been holding back on me. I know they have something big that they don't want to play, but let's see if they play it or not. Yep, there we go. And this is where the magic happens. Let's just do this. Keep it simple. And next turn, I'm going to swing like crazy. I got my 12k. I got my 9k leader ability, plus these extra dawns. I can essentially swing for 9k with my leader, 11k with my dragon, then 12. So 9, 11, 12. It's going to be huge. It's going to be everything Red wants to do. Now, of course, they can play Kid and Killer. I mean, they can play the Kid blocker, which they probably should. Ah, they play him. That's fine. 1, 2, 3. I'll probably get through 2 of their blockers. And they just take 1, or they block 1. They counter out 1. So we'll see. They also have their leader ability too, which is dangerous, but I want to use this. Kind of force them to rest my leader, which is fine. 9, 11, 13. I do need to get a green screen, so if you want to support that, definitely check out my Whatnot channel. Okay. I wasn't expecting to counter out that big. I guess I could have put it here, 14, to add an additional 2 here, but I don't think it matters as much because he was going to block either way. But definitely, in hindsight, 2 down on my Shanks, swing for 14, and then move that down around from 11 to 13. Oh, that's fine. I keep these 2Ks for when they try to swing at one of these. But he's probably playing a Kid or a Dofi. Dofi would be huge right now. It won't kill me, but it's still a good card to play. Yep, 10 drop. I don't mind that. Should I take the life? It's not the worst thing in the world, but I'll just counter. Maybe he blocks with one of his blockers just to like make sure I lose a life here, or probably not. He just lets it go there. Oh no, he did. There we go. That's what I like to see. All right, let's see. Let's get rid of one of these guys, and then I'll play my Luffy to just nice and comfortable for my next swings. I imagine he's going to swing at one of these characters, so I need to have some other characters up to counter swing at him. Another 10 drop would be really good for him, I guess, because he swings 7, 7, 10, and 10 drop here. Can I finish with 2? Probably not. Or if he plays 10 drop, he just swings with my 10, take, and I can't finish with these two. It's his thought process, quote, quote. Oh, he goes for it. Joke's on you. I got the goods. Now, 7 Dawn. He could play Hody Jones. He could rest 2 of my characters and swing at him, but that's not a good move. He probably needed to play his A-Class, which he might not have. He can play another blocker or a few blockers, but we'll see. So he's going to use 6 Dawn. He could play another Basil Hawkins if he has it, but I don't think he has another one. Oh, wow. I could no, I can't counter. I'll let that go. So I got 3 swings next turn. Marco would have been really good for that. Swing big, block, swing big, block. Oh, don't mind if I do. So let's see how this works. 7k, he rests my 12k. No, I'm gonna keep this 12k. I should have kept that Dawn out. He's gonna rest my leader. I just wasted 2 Dawn. Oh well, I'll just use it back over here. Swing block. Probably has to block, no? If he doesn't, I just swing boom, 8, 9, 10, 11 at his leader, my Luffy. He blocks there, then they swing 7, then they swing 9 and 9. Oh, I guess he just really wants to give it to me. Monkey D. Luffy, so dangerous, man. So dangerous. 7, 9, 11. He could have it. 8, 10, 12. 0 cost and 2 2Ks will get it. Yeah, he needed to play his kid blockers. It's gonna be rough, but one of those things, you know? Y'all think I kid around. Y'all think I just like put these decks together and just like try to get you guys some good content? No, I put my back into this, man. I got so much gameplay. High version number. I gotta up. There's another version out again. There's so many versions. Oh, Lucci's good. Alright, this is probably the last one. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom. Swing, swing, character to character. Draw is good, but I think I want a little bit extra. No, I'll keep. I have this event, so I think that's enough reason to see what I can build out. And funny enough, I don't have to, on my 3 Dawn turn, I don't have to go 5-5. I can go some combination of 8, get the 4 life out, and then next turn go a little crazy. Nico Robin I want to save for my other build. But here, let's show you. Surprisingly enough, do I do this? And then I swing big next turn and save this for a little bit larger swing. I think that's fine, actually. I don't think I care if they KO my Brook. Okay, swing. Next turn, I can swing a little aggressively there. I'm telling you, I gotta rush against these black decks, man. They just know what to do. They got so much late game, dangerous advantage on me. 6, 3 Dawn. He's gonna swing 5. I don't think I mind it. He swings 5. Oh, that's fine. He was itching to use his brick anyways, so if I didn't, he would just KO my Zoro as well. But let's see how this cooks. Let me show you the 7-7-7 combo. 7-7. He's at 3 life now. That's super dangerous. One more, he's at my Kid and Killer range, which is going to be very dangerous for him. Let's see. Oh, I'm so excited. I can edit a lot more now without the captions. I can't wait. The captions just took so much time, and I just wasn't uploading fast enough. I expect him to KO my Zoro if he plays his island and then his stage, and then combo with his Brook. That's fine. If he doesn't have stage, then I imagine he has. What did he search with his fandom? Let's see. He could play his Lucci too. Zoro's a threat, man. I swing 7k next turn for so little value. Let's see what it does. Sabo? Oh, he looks for his event stage card. No draw. Ooh. That Moria though. Ooh, that Sabo. The Sabo and Sabo though. One thing to note is I generally don't have that big of a hand size, so it's harder to Perona me if I'm playing a Moria, but I sometimes have to see it. And that's the scary thing about playing this deck. If you don't see it sometimes, it can be rough. I'll take this one just because I want to get more rush cards in my hand. Brook, 6k. I think I'm going to see this actually. I don't mind it. So now that I have this, I'm going to put him at 7k. And that means my Kid and Killer swing is going to be actually really dangerous. If this goes through. He should block this if he could. I could have swung 8k. Didn't really feel like it. Plus, I can also do this. Make him 7k anyways. Big braino. Big braino. He's going to die, but I have another one. Swing big, 0, 0. And I have my events, so I'm super comfortable. This is 2 cost or less, 2 life or less though, so watch out. Yep, so he plays blockers. He's gonna swing 7k at my Kid and Killer. I'm gonna protect him for sure. Does he do something crazy? Let's see. Lucci. I don't think he can. Is he gonna summon Khalifa? Uh-oh. Is there something I'm missing? Oh, Khalifa with this? Does Khalifa get I think Khalifa's draw too, no? I don't expect much here. You can swing here, but I'm gonna defend like crazy. Let me show you the fine line that red has against black. Heck no. You think I'm giving away my kid and killer for free? No way, Jose. He has a 2K here, by the way. Heck no. Heck no. Tempting. Tempting it was. As tempting as it was, I got a leader to swing at. 7, 9, and then like crazy. I could have swung it bigger here, but I'm not greedy. 9, and then another 9. Another 7? No, I'll make it 8. Just because I need that radical beam in case they try to go greedy next turn. They could. I think I survive. I'm going to survive 2 of their hits, which I think is very doable. Black tries to lethal me here. He's going to try to go for Optimum Dawn, so 10. Ooh, I guess he's not going for lethal. Well, this is where having a Luffy would be amazing. Oh, I don't mind that. Because what's he going to defend against my lethal turn? I will take any hit he throws at me now, I think I take. Look for my Luffys. Thank you. He has no blockers, so I just swing big M at him anyways, so there's nothing really scary about this. I mean, I'll take it all. 7, 9, 11, 13 is the most you can defend next turn. 8, 10, 12. No. I don't think I'm scared of any of that. 9, play, yep. No, I don't think he has it. I could just swing it all with my character. I'm a leader, 8 to 15, but just showing the stuff. That is Dragon. I hope you enjoyed. Face cam, whatnot. Don't forget, I'll be having a whatnot channel on their AussieCon. I'll be start posting these videos without closed captions, so I'm going to try to get you guys more content faster. And yeah, it should be fun. I think for the whatnot, I'm going to just sell bulk. But what I'm going to do is make it fun where like you buy a single card of bulk. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to either give you Decklist or like Photoshop your face onto a card. I actually do Photoshop pretty well, I think. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Just a way to connect with people live. Thank you so much for watching. This is the Monkey D Dragon deck. I think it's very viable in this meta, but it's up to you. Test it out, change whatever you want, and thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all the above. Thank you.